Hey, Kyle, good morning, or good afternoon, or good evening. Whatever time of day it is, when you hear this message, I pray that your mind, your heart, and your spirit are all poised to receive, accept, and respond to words of wisdom. Ashe. Recently I relocated to Atlanta. So the Orisha Lifestyle Academy, if you don't know, is now based in the Atlanta area. Hooray. Fantastic. I'm loving it. It's definitely one of the better decisions that I've made in uh, recent years. I'm really happy. And at the same time, I'm coming into the Atlanta area with beginner's mind, and so I'm experiencing a lot of things for the first time, and it's an exciting new experience, right? And there's one aspect of Atlanta that is definitely not gonna grow on me. It's not gonna. I'm not gonna get used to it, and one day say, you know what, this is great. That's not gonna happen in this aspect, and that is regarding the city planning and the roads, right? The way everything is designed, the design of Atlanta and its area, all the surrounding areas, mm-mm, very badly designed, very badly designed. And I'm saying that relative to, let's say, the West Coast. I'm from California. And so everything on the West Coast pretty much is better designed as far as the cities, the roads, and all that are concerned. And what I mean by better is that, when you have something that's poorly designed, it doesn't matter how skillful you are, right? You could be a great driver, have a fantastic driving record, but when you get to a place where the roads are poorly designed, it's difficult to drive well. It's difficult to even enjoy the driving experience because things are set up in a way that your life is constantly in danger. And I laugh because that's how it is. It's not funny, but it's true. It's just poorly designed. I'm not trying to throw Atlanta under the bus in any way, shape, or form, but I'm just being sincere. The city is not laid out as well as it ought to be. The roads are not designed as well as they ought to be, and poor design creates for a very bad experience, potentially dangerous experience. Now, the way this pertains to Orisha lifestyle is that um, a lot of times when I meet modern, my contemporaries, particularly well educated people who've been exposed to, fancy hotels and flying, in modern planes and flying first class and, are used to really high quality fabrics and blah, 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 blah. When you come in contact with the Orisha tradition, you can have a really negative experience because it seems as though the tradition is very poorly designed, right? It looks and feels like it's poorly designed, and you struggle with it because no matter how smart you are, no matter how well intentioned you are, no matter um, how badly you want to practice, it seems like over and over and over and over again, the design is getting in your way and you can't get the information you want. You can't follow the steps the way you'd like to. You can't get answers to your questions the way it seems like you ought to be able to. Things aren't explained as clearly and as simply as you would like them to be, right? And so it creates for a bad experience. It leaves a taste in your mouth. Sometimes people feel downright angry as a result of their experience within the Orisha tradition. And a lot of that has to do with design. But let me explain to you something though. It isn't the design of the tradition. And the reason why I'm saying this is because when people have bad experiences or when people have experiences that they don't feel comfortable with, the first inclination is to how do we change this? And the tradition isn't like the city of Atlanta, right? City of Atlanta, hey, we could knock down these walls, you could bulldoze these buildings, we could widen this road, we could reroute these things, right? That's material things. But you can't just rewire or reroute or redesign a tradition. Can't be done. More importantly, you don't want to do that. I repeat, more importantly, you do not want to do that. The tradition is the tradition for a reason, because it works, and it has always worked. Here is the problem. Here is the problem. The tradition works best within its context, within the cultural context of Yoruba land in West Africa, where everybody has this huge body of shared experiences. They've got shared values. They have shared expectations, right? It's not that everybody is the same and it's this big monolithic thing called Yoruba land. There's a huge amount of diversity there. But it's just that the spectrum of people's experiences is more similar than what you're going to find in Atlanta, in Los Angeles, in Boston, in Houston, etc. So what is the problem? What needs to be fixed? It's not the tradition, ladies and gentlemen. It is not the tradition. All right? But what needs to be fixed is your approach to the tradition. What needs to happen is, instead of trying to change the tradition or fix the tradition, you need to change the way you approach it. There need to be some other layers, some other buffers that prepare you to engage with the tradition as it is. You need to be reorientated. You need to be reprogrammed. You need to be reconditioned so that you can step into the tradition in a way that's congruent with who you are and what the tradition does. In a corporate environment, they would call it onboarding. You need an onboarding process, okay? And with an onboarding process, people are going to, like I said, they're going to coach you and they're going to give you the proper orientation so that it's like a moving escalator. You can move on, you can just step on smoothly when, someone walks you through the whole process of timing and, getting yourself ready to do that. And so that's what the Orisha Lifestyle Academy is about. Right? The Orisha Lifestyle Academy is about providing the mental scaffolding and frameworks that you need to understand what is this all about. I'll give you one example, The Fundamentals of Orisha Lifestyle. That's like my flagship book and course. The Fundamentals of Orisha Lifestyle is so crucial because what I do is I walk you through 16 different elements of our belief system, right? It's so hard to even get a grip on what we believe and why we believe and how our belief is informed. But the fundamentals, for example, it just walks you straight through it. And in the fundamentals, your big aha ought to be that the book is 16, there's 16 elements, but I walk you through 12 spiritual elements that precede any contact with Orisha. That is, there are 12 different elements that you have as a part of your birthright. You have access to them. They are resources that are there for you. They can empower you. They can enrich you. They can purify you. They can uplift you. They can protect you. They can guide you. They can do so many things before you ever say Shango, before you ever say Obatala or Ogun or Eshu or Ifa. Before any of those things, you have all these other elements. That's the kind of stuff I walk you through in the fundamentals, to prepare you to think about how does Ifa understand your position. When Ifa is explaining things to you, it's giving you information based on and some assumptions about your position. And you need to know your position so that when you get the advice, you know how to respond accordingly. It's stuff like that we walk you through in all of the courses. It's not just the fundamentals, but everything that I do, everything I offer in the Orisha Lifestyle Academy is designed to give you the proper orientation so that you can come into the tradition with a clear understanding of who you are, where you're coming from, and what is at your reach. So if you are someone who wants to have a smooth experience, you want to move into this practice, seamlessly. You want this to be an experience that you can enjoy, something that you're not feeling like anxiety, constant anxiety about what you do next and who you do this with and where does this go, and you're so nervous about doing things the wrong way that you can't even really focus on the spiritual elevation that's taking place in your life. If you are someone who wants to streamline your process, in other words, and get into this tradition in a smooth and effortless way, I encourage you to visit orishalifestyle.com or obafemio.com. Peruse the literature, peruse the courses, peruse the spectrum of services that I offer, and let's get busy starting to live the medicine that will heal your life and heal the lives of those who you are destined to serve. Aboraboye, Aboshishe.